Maha Bhagavatha Purana is very sacred, and Maha Bhagavatha Purana, written by Vedavyasa Maharishi, after seen by Narada. One day, Vedavyasa Maharishi, sitting in the bank of the river Saraswati, Narada came to see him, and Devarsi Vedavyasa Maharishi got up and gave Argyapadya to Narada, and Narada's given some place to sit, and Narada asked a question to Vedavyasa Maharishi, why are you looking sad? You appears to be doing a job incomplete. But Vedavyasa Maharishi said, yes, he feels the same way. He has written Mahabharata, he has written so many other scriptures, and he still feels something is missing in his work. What is that? He don't know. He just asked Narada Maharishi, you are omniscient and omnipresent, and you know all the people's mind. Why can't you tell us what is that is lacking in my work? And Narada said, you have not explained the Lord Almighty God Narayana's appreciation and prayers, and also the achievement of Lord Narayana in his all avatars has to be explained in a better manner than what we have done in Mahabharata. People will be happy, and Narada said he should start working on Bhagavath Purana and write it. The full details of all the achievements of Narayana and all the yugas, whatever Narayana's avatars, explain avatars, and full description of Dushta Shikshana and Shishta Samrakshana work what Krishna has done it in all these avatars. Then Vedavyasa Maharishi felt, yes, this is what we are doing, and he started writing the Bhagavad Purana after that Narada's visit. And the story starts like this. In Naimisharanya, all the sages assembled to do Satrayaga. Satrayaga means the Yajnakartra, Yajamana, and Purohit are all same. If the Yajamana, Yajnakartra, and Purohit are all same, it called Satraya Yaga. And also it is done for long time. It just keep on doing a long time. That sort of Satrayaga, they were all planned. And Sutta Puranika came to visit them, and all the sages got up and respected Sutta Puranika and invited him, and they given Argya, Padya, and sit down, and all these things, they respected him. And that time, the sages are asking him, it is the state of the earth which is written by Kali Yuga that has made us worried about the future of the Kali Yuga and the earth. Said Shaunaka Rishi said, man is no longer assured of his 100 years of life in the Kali Yuga. Diseases rob him of his youth, and his death is premature. His physical well-being is threatened by many illness, infections, and death premature. His mind is clouded by Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, and Matsarya. These 6 arch enemies of a human being. These in turn are attended by smaller evils of infection and viral infection and pandemic. Man's intellect is clouded by ignorance. If he has to emerge out of this illusion called Maya, if he has to save his soul from this sinful life on the earth, he will have to study the Dharma Shastras, the Puranas, the Vedas, But man of today has neither the time nor the inclination to study what is good for him. Please, therefore, all the sages asked Sotapuranika to let us know about the single kavya, single great work, or a single poem, studying which can become pure God, pure and good, and be freed from the bondage of karma for all the humanity in the world. And this is what they asked the sages in the Naimisharanya. Naimisharanya has got a special status. Naimisharanya is somewhere in near Ayodhya and Kanpur area. And this area, all the sages went to Brahma asking for some safe place for sages to do Satrayaga. And, and that place should not be influenced by the Kali Yuga. Kali Purusha should not come in that area. And that area they were asking. And Brahmadeva made prayers to Narayana and created a wheel in his hand with the darbas. And he left the wheel to go and fall in a place which is sacred. And that wheel came to this Naimisharanya in the ancient time. That wheel is like a chakra, and that there is a tirtha there in the Naimisharanya called Chakra Tirtha. And Chakra Tirtha is a circular, like a swimming pool or things like a pond in which people dip in and get bath also. And that area becomes sacred since Brahma did this wheel of Darba falling on that area, and that became a Chakra Tirtha in Naimisharanya. And that's where in the Naimisharanya there is a statue of Vedavyasa Maharshi there, and a statue of Hanuman God there, statue of Narayana there. There's all sorts of idols there, and Durga statue is also supposed to be there. And this is the place where the sages are assembled in Naimisharanya to do Satrayaga. So sages are asked the Sutta Puranika to get free from the bondage of karma. What people has to do? You should suggest some literature or a scripture or a kavya, only one item, instead of saying so many kavyas. And Sutta Puranika start telling. He was pleased about this question. His other name is Ugrashrava, and he is the son of Romaharshana. Romaharshana is the disciple of Vedavyasa Maharshi. And Ugrashrava or Sutta Puranika are same person as two names. And he pleased with this question. He smiled them and said, I will tell you where righteousness has found refuge after Krishna left the earth in Dwapara at the end of Dwapara. Krishna, the incarnation of Lord Narayana, was in the earth during Dwapara Yuga. He left us and went away. And with him went Dharma also, righteousness also. People are grouping in the darkness called ignorance. It is up to you, my Lord, to tell us where Dharma has found refuge after the disappearance of Krishna back to Vishnaloka. This is the question the sages put it for Ugrashrava or Sutta Puranika. And Ugrashrava started telling, I will tell you where righteousness has found refuge after Krishna left the earth. The sun has risen, the sun which will dispel the inner darkness in the mind of man during this sinful Kali Yuga. That sun is the great Bhagavath Purana, composed by the seer Vedavyasa Maharshi. The Bhagavata tells you the story of Lord and the many avatars he took to establish Dharma on earth. He is the infinite and incomprehensible, not bound by anything, not by the chain of cause and effect, which makes the ordinary man live through janma after janma. He is the infinite by the chain of cause and effect, which makes the ordinary man live through the janma after janma, death and birth and death, in an endless cycle. Cycle of birth and death is called. He is beyond all this. But man is not good enough or great enough to realize him. He can see only through human eyes, perceive only through the senses, and grasp things only through the human intellect. We approach him with the eyes of man born woman. We ascribe to him qualities which we have and try to gauge him by our standards. Knowing all this, the Lord, in his infinite kindness, has in past assumed forms of living beings so that we could see him. Through these descents into the world of men, the Lord has helped man again and again. He has established Dharma whenever there was a threat of its being eclipsed. Contemplating on absolute will not be possible for man today, ridden as he is by besetting sins. But when even the worst sinner can be saved if he listens to the stories of the Lord, his many avatars. The Bhagavath Purana is just that. The path to the Lord is devotion, the Bhakti Marga. It is Bhakti which we see as the golden thread running through all the avatars. The Bhagavath Purana is a string of beads which, like Japamala, helps you to realize the Lord and reach him. Vyasa Maharshi composed these Puranas at his last contribution for the good of the world. And Sutta Puranika is going to tell you how it came about. So it started by Narada coming to Saraswati River. The river Saraswati was flowing placidly. On the banks of the river was the ashrama of Vyasa Maharshi. It was evening time and he was sitting on the stands gazing at the ripples of the river with unseeing eyes. His eyes were sad and his face troubled. Some deep pain was mirrored in his thoughtful eyes. So he sat for a long time. The silence around Vyasa Maharshi was broken when the Narada came with his Veena noise. Sweet melody of Veena of Narada fell onto ears of Vyasa Maharshi. With the music of Veena was heard a voice singing the praise of Narayana. Vyasa looked up with an eager face and found that a young sage Narada coming towards him. Vyasa got up in the hurry, welcomed the divine Rishi and made him take a seat of honor. He then sat at his feet, at the feet of the young Rishi, who is son of Brahma. Narada smiled at Vyasa and said, I hope all is well with you. I hope that sickness and disease do not bother you. I am confident that your mind, clear like a pond, is without agitations. You ought to be happy, since you have composed the great poem of Mahabharata, which is a storehouse of knowledge of all the rules of conduct. It is indeed a great achievement, and the world of men will benefit of your work. As for you, learned as you are in the Brahma Vidya, you must be without any sorrow. He paused for a while, and Vyasa Maharshi sat silent without uttering a word. Narada spoke again. He said, It seems to me as though you are not looking happy. You seem to me like one who has not achieved what he wanted to. You have done so much, and yet you think it seems to be inadequate. What is worrying you? What makes you unhappy? What you say is perfectly true, said Vyasa Maharshi. And you are the only person who can clear my doubts. You are wiser than me. You are the son of Brahma. You are ever lost in praising the glories of Lord Narayana. And it seems to me there is nothing which is beyond your intellect. You are like the sun, which sees all three worlds. With the power of your yoga, you can, like the air, enter into human beings and know what is hidden in their minds also. So you must be knowing the reason why I am despondent. Long ago, I was once absorbed in meditation. In my mind, I saw the future of the world. I saw the deterioration of Dharma. I saw the nature of man undergoing a change for the worse. I saw the advent of Kali Yuga, and Kali Purusha, of the sinfulness pervading the earth. I saw the gradual withdrawal of the glory that had been her heritage all these years. And I was filled with infinite pity for the generations of men that are to be born in the Kali Yuga in the earth. I therefore resolved to help them in their distress. I edited the Vedas. I divided the Vedas into 4 parts, and these 4 parts were taught to my disciples. Paila Rishi learned Rigveda, and Jaimini Rishi learned Samaveda. Vaishampayana was the only one who could master the Yajurveda. Sumanto became proficient in Atharvana Veda. To Romaharshana, I started the 17 Puranas and Itihasas. These disciples of mine have divided the Vedas further, and they have taught them to their disciples, and they in their turn to theirs. I found that I had not done enough. I realized that those who cannot study the Vedas, those who are not able to do, should also be saved. And so, with a slight smile lighting up his young face, Narada said, I know the reason. You have not done enough. And then Vyasa said, not done enough? Echoed Vyasa with dismay. I have tried to do all that I possibly could. I have set down all that I thought was essential for the well-being of man, for the mankind, walking up in the path of Dharma. I still maintain that you have not done enough, continued Narada. Vyasa was smiling at him, listening to him as a student. A drawback in the Mahabharata. He was eager to know what it was. He did not speak a word, but his eyes were questioning as if to say, please tell me, go on and tell me what is the drawback is and how I can rectify. Narada said, you were interested in the welfare of the world, and by relating the story of Pandavas, you have taught the lesson that righteousness will conquer in the end. And where Krishna is, there is found Dharma. This is the lesson, and there is no doubt that people will learn it. But you have throughout the epic laid stress on the duties of man, on his dharma, on his performing dharma, them selflessly. The Bhagavad Gita and all the other discourses on dharma lay stress on karma yoga, as you call it. But my friend, you have not sung the praises of the Lord as much as you ought to have. Know you not that the easiest path to the Lord is the path of bhakti. All the other yogas are harder paths for the humanity in the world, which lead to the feet of the Lord. The praises of Narayana, even if they are couched in wrong words, even if they are sung all out of tune, will assure man of the grace of the Lord. Like piece of arani, which when churned will give birth to the smoke and first and then later to the fire. When we are doing yajna, we get 2 pieces of wood, we rub each other, that's called arani, and then the fire will come. First smoke comes and then arani, the fire will come. That fire they use for the yajna, that's arani. When churned will give forth the smoke first and later fire, which will consume the wood itself. Even so, the mind of man, when churned by constant devotion to the Lord, will make all the evil in him come out onto the surface. The true sattvic nature of man will then blaze forth, and like fire will consume the bondage of karma and grant him salvation forever and ever. The true sattvic nature of man will then blaze forth with bhakti yoga, and like fire will consume the bondage of karma and grant him salvation forever. You enter into every one of the characters. You are therefore thinking it, and Vedavasa himself is a part, is a actor in the Mahabharata scene. You are therefore thinking good thoughts as well as evil ones while in the process of portraying them. Incidentally, the Lord was praised. There was no single-mindedness about your devotion to Narayana. You must try to make up for this omission. Sing the praises of Narayana. Relate to the world his Vishwarupa, his Viratarupa, his Vibhutis, his avatars. And this, I assure you, will grant you the peace you are seeking. Unveil to the world the secret behind avatars. Tell them why the Lord, who is beyond the opposites, who has his abode in Ananta, who is the Purusha, the life giver to the entire universe, why he should take a form and name and a birth and become like one of us in the earth, why he should appear to be infused with one of the other of the 3 gunas, and act as though he were a human being with human emotions. Praise every avatar of the Lord. Let nothing come from your lips except words of praise describing the glory of Narayana, and you will find peace. Drive home to the world of men this lesson. Even if a man fails in his duties which are ascribed to him by the Vedas and by the elders, even if he is sinner who has transgressed all rules of conduct, still if in his heart there is a spring of love, of devotion to the Lord, that will wash his white sins become white, and he will be dear to the Narayana. Remember, my friend, that you are yourself an avatar of Narayana. See, Vedavyasa himself is avatar of Narayana. You have been born into this world for the benefit of mankind. Yet you will allow emotions to delude you. Remember who you are. Wake up from this sleep, which makes you forget your real nature. Relate to everyone, the many avatars of Narayana, and the purpose behind each of them. Sing the praises of Narayana again and again and again. You will then have reached the goal for which you have been striving peace. That's the visit of Narada to Vedavyasa Maharshi, and this is the part one of the Maha Bhagavatha Purana introduction, part one, and then the next chapter we will do some other time. Thank you very much for listening. Om Namostanantaya Sahasramurtaye Sahasrapadakshirva Sahasranamne Purusharshtaye Sahasrakoti Udarane Namaha Akashat Paritam Vedagit Sagaram Darode Namaskaraha Sri Kesham Prijatyo Namaha Sarva Vedeshat Punyam Sarva Tirtesh Gatpalam Tatpalam Purnapta Vasana Vasdevasya Vasdante Jayatram Sarvotri Vasde Vasdevaste Kayan Vacha Mansinderva Buddhatmana Vaprute Sabhavat Karomi Yadat Sagalam Parasmai Narayana Samarpayami, Narayana Samarpayami, Narayana Samarpayami.